Hi, everybody. Oh boy. Hi, Scott. I know. I'm having technical difficulties with my YouTube. Hang on. Gotta get my chat up. Chicken! My chicken's far away. Chicken! Hi, everybody. This is Allison from AllyKat Creations. How are you? Please hit the like. Share is caring. Subscribe. And if you get anything from my work at Connected on an Epiphany and Mind Explosion, um, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to look at, please consider supporting my work. The links will be in the description after this video uploads. My website is allykatcreations211.com. That's where you can see my portfolio and all the beautiful things that I have. And that's another way you can support me. And I have 3D memberships. So far, they're only at 3D. Members get a chance to get free drawings into my raffles and giveaways. The next one will be February. I think I said 7th, 3rd or 7th. Hang on. But with that membership, you can get free entries into giveaways. So you can win some fun things. I'm a very generous person. February 7th. Just wanted to make sure I get that right. Will be the next drawing. And hi, Charlene. Hi, El Sunray. Hi, guys. Hi, Roger. Chicken. So I'm sorry I'm like 15 minutes late. I got a phone call as soon as I got into my house. Elsa, can you help me? Yeah. I had Vikings dually in my driveway that needed to be moved. It's a huge truck. He had to bring it to the shop, which is not that far away. So I got back, hey Buckshot, and I had to set up my tarot cards, not tarot cards, oracle cards. You know, you see where my brain's at. Um, I had to clean out the litter box that I had tucked away from Freya. Her new box came in today and I had to put litter in it. So I had to do that and my garbage goes out. So I had to run and do shit. Um, Hi everybody. So I first off, as so that craft and sift that I did wasn't just for anything. That's what it turned into. This is Odin memorial that will hang on my wall. I have one for Ethan. Sorry. Chicken! Chicken, 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 chicken. It's already starting my camera. There it goes. Thank you. Um, his ashes came yesterday. No, his ashes I picked up on Wednesday. The urn came yesterday, and then I can't find brackets to put up shelving, because I had that room planned out. So I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot eventually they're really cheap brackets. I don't even know if they have the same ones, but um I have the urns. All the boys are on one level, and then Morgan Cat has her own level, and Freya will probably go next to her if I can't find the frames that I want. So I want to thank everybody for praying, sending me and Odin and Freya energy, and just the appreciation, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't tell you how much I cried the last week, and not necessarily being upset, because yeah, I am upset. He was only 3. Uh, like out of no, not that it wasn't out of nowhere, but like, oh no, this is fatal. Um, this fuck. So thank you everybody for helping me out. I was able to cremate him. I like to have, I can't, so for me, my energy, I can't for the life of me bury. I don't know, there's something within me, it's probably the Viking aspects of me that don't like to have the burial thing. My parents, because they're Jewish, were um they didn't have much of a choice. If they already had their plots, they already bought everything. Uh, I had no choice but to bury my parents. Zero choice. My mom wanted to be cremated, believe it or not. But they wouldn't allow it. So I had to, my parents are on Long Island right now, like chilling out. I mean, obviously they're here in spirit, but something within me, I need to have their, thank you, Roger. I just need to have their energy with me on a shelf. So that's their ashes. It's nothing significant. It's just memories. Um, but that's kind of what hurts with Odin, is the fact that I only had him 6 months. Um, 6 months. I just adopted him and he was fine. I don't know how it happened, how he got tracked into the house. It was a virus that mutated within him, and that was his body doing it, not some crazy thing. So, but it happened, and what did this teach me? I don't know. Um, so we have a beautiful member in chat who crocheted these. And these were so when I started working at my job, they never provided manipulatives or stress soothing fidgets or anything to my kids. So I asked people to, this is also a part of it, but because this is actually a squeaky, we can't allow this in my classroom right now because the kids will go bonkers with that. Um, so I asked people if they have any fidgets or had autistic children at home that outgrew their fidgets, if they can donate them to my classroom. Um, yes, you are, Charlene. Thank you, Charlene. I have a whole bag. Charlene sent me a humongous box of these. She's very talented, and I couldn't fill the whole bag up, so I kept a few. So if one gets wrecked, I can replace, but chicken stays here. Crazy chicken. Um, I have a penguin up there too that Charlene made. Uh, so Charlene saves the day for the classroom. The kids love them. Um, when I'm able to bring them out. So I get an email talking about work. I get an email last night. I don't check my email often. Bad employee. Um, saying that I'm going to be a mentor. I'm like, wow, I kind of feel honored. This is cool. I get to teach somebody how to be a para. What? I hope that comes with an extra paycheck. Um, but I was kind of honored and taken aback that I was chosen out of all the other paras in my building that I was going to be the one training this new person. They're going to be in my room, so I have no choice anyway. To be honest, but kind of honored in that regard to being a mentor. I don't know when it starts, but I'm excited. Um, yeah, just a crazy week. Emotionally, like last weekend sucked. I was on the Zoom on Saturday for a little tiny bit, and then I heard rufflings in the background, and then I heard Odin peeing. He was peeing on himself. So that was when I had to leave. Irish exit. So I do apologize for those of you that were there. I do apologize. Irish exits aren't it's in my ethnic background. But yeah, sorry about that. I had to go. Sad. But Freya seems to be fine. She's normal. I don't even think she's really affected that her daddy died. I mean, obviously cats don't know who they're related to. They're all in the same. But she meows a lot as always, but more so early, like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know if she's seeing things. I know when I talked to Scott Pace, hi Scott. Um, he has a lot going on. He can't talk about it, but I can't recall what's going on with my light body. Usually if my light body leaves my body at night, I don't really have much recall. I will get snapshots if they want me to know what's going on. What am I doing outside of my body? Um, I know there's a lot of people who've been messaging me. It's okay, trust me, I'm kind of a person that needs to be consistent. Um, I like being consistent. I like having a schedule. I like running my life without the spontaneous chaos. And Odin was definitely the chaos factor. Um, and just like mentally, and then, oh, let me take a step back. So he passed on Tuesday morning, and I had to take the kids, my school was off. Kids didn't go into school because it was negative 20 degrees. Now, there are plenty of reasons for that. It's been snowing overnight, like traces of snow, but that brings black ice. And we've already had a couple of car accidents in the morning. So my principal and the community school peoples were like, yeah, not safe. Um, Especially that the weather wasn't going to get any hotter hotter, like warmer during the day. So Tuesday, I had to call out, get back home, taking Odin to the vet, and so he can be cremated and do all that paperwork. I have no water pressure in my house. Zero. So not fun. And then the last few days, it's still very cold. Been putting like my heater to everything, and like finally the other day I was able to like wash my hair and like do the army shower because I didn't feel comfortable just opening up my line, I've been having everything drip. Viking just came here a little while ago after I dropped him off at the mechanic. And he's like, "Oh, you need your main line valve replaced." Fucking what? And you go, and I'm like, dude, the last plumbers I called because you were being a dick charged me a lot of money to replace probably a part that might have cost me $100. So I have to find a plumber that is in contract, that knows what the fuck they're doing, that is licensed to replace my valve. So this shall be fun. Hi, Eric. My physical body the last week, this is like why I'm like now off kilter. Um, I go back to work on Wednesday, and the kids are fucking ridiculous. They're off, like off. It was a lot of physicality out of me having to lift. I had at least four kids in the first part of my day have tantrums. I mean, not just like crying on the floor, like I'll hold you, I usually hold them and rock them, and I take their hands so that they can hug themselves. I'm teaching them how to do that. No, this is like off the wall running, trying to get out of the room, trying to bite, hit, kick, punch. I got slapped in the face, kicked. This was like a freaking wacky wonky day. Hi, Christina. So, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, let me look at the Schumann residence, and it started spiking. Yesterday, it spiked a ton. I'm going to go into that. And then we had a time dilation. We shifted into a different timeline. And then it's kind of purgy right now. I know if you look at other people's stuff, everything has a different meaning. For me, the red is purge. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Um, so we've been getting a lot of energy. That's not just hitting us. That's hitting the kids. I was with the older kids today. They were off, like off, like can't regulate themselves. So when an autistic child stems, there's a bunch of kids in that room that have a lot of like that stem. Well, stemming could be anything from just pacing the room to like, or having a thing that they do to calm their body down. The entire room today was just that, a lot of stemming. So the energy, the alignments of the planets, that's all affecting the kids. And I told my teachers, I was just like, just deal with it, let it go. Don't take it. There's a lot of energy going on right now. A lot. Oh, the chicken? Yeah, it's not to focus my camera because my camera's coming from my desktop. It's to like zoom me back. Zoom is ridiculous. I never had this problem until they updated it a few months ago, where all of a sudden, like my camera will do this. And it's like, what the fuck? Um, and I don't have an external camera that runs well to take that off and put it onto a different type, like a webcam or something. I don't have the funds for a good one right now. Especially now that I'm gonna have to do another plumber call and get a valve for my main line replaced or a gasket maybe snapped or something. I don't know. I have a drip. I am leaking. I mean, I when I put I shut down my main water line so that I open up all the faucets, all the air is gonna seep through, and then slowly open it up because my lines are like, that's what I was taught to do because I've had the problem in New York. So I always shut my main and then slowly open it after I defrost everything. Now I have a leak. So shower at Vikings until I can call a plumber next week. Yay. Because weekend calls are more expensive. Fun. So yeah, the energies are going crazy. Going back earlier, I'm trying to keep myself on track today. Um, a lot of us are experiencing waking up between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. And I'm one of those people that have been doing that like every day this week. Even when Odin was, that's what actually I woke up at 4:45. Yeah, out of nowhere because my alarm clock doesn't go off until 5 and then I have a snooze at 5:15 and that's usually the time I have to get myself up. So 4:45 I wake up and he's in the throes of death. Um so yeah, that wasn't fun. But I mean the rest of the week too, I've been waking up. I went to sleep to Brian Scott's, I forgot exactly the meditation. It has to do with like abundance and like attracting more things that would be prosperous for me. And that is he does deep sleep ones, so I listen to it. My unconscious listens to it, and I kept waking up. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I know Mr. Scott Pace has been telling me he's been doing it, and Charlene too seems that she's having the same problem. It's not a problem. It's just really annoying. And that could be due to a plethora of different things. So your light body is out as soon as you hit that REM state, which is a short period of time. You're out. Bye. You're out doing another mission. You're either in your other concurrent lives right now in the closest dimensional space possible to you. You're in your light body outside of the firmament, outside building the reality that we're all going to jump into, or you're out doing your missions. Ugh. Actually, for anybody that I haven't got a response, but I no, I was at the real Donald Trump the other day. Because a bunch of people have called me up and said, Allison, well, New York City DOE kind of technically fired you. I was like, no, I had to take a severance package because I had to get back pay. They owed me money for a spring break and for something else. And at the time, they told me basically if you take the severance package, we can rehire you back. If you wait, you cannot work another job. So you would have to do jobs off the books. You can't do X, Y, and Z. And if you go back, there's no guarantee that you're going to be kept. So there's no good option there. I said, fuck it. I need a job. I need to work. So I took the severance package. It wasn't that much money. They owed me, but I had no choice. I didn't make as much as a teacher. I didn't have the salary like everybody else, and I literally lived paycheck to paycheck. So what is one to do? I tried getting another job, private, pods, home. Everybody was so much in fear with this nonsense that no one hired me. Not even the Patriot businesses and stuff in and around town. So I was basically fucked. I should be getting compensation, and I wrote that to Trump. Like, if the military and the nurses, well, the teachers should be getting something, especially those that were displaced and had to move because that was the only option for them. I should be compensated for that pain and suffering and losing everything. So we'll see what happens. I would love to sleep in. I don't, my algorithm wakes me up early. Even when I was off for 2 years, it was hard for me to adjust to a night owl schedule because I actually do a lot better at night than I do in the morning. But now I'm back at my old schedule, so I'm an early bird. And then the cat. I mean, you know, the movement in the beginning was like, yay, you stood up for yourself. You're one, and you know, I went to a ton of walks and rallies at the Brooklyn Bridge, walked across it, made a statement, and I never got compensated. I couldn't even get unemployment or food stamps. They told me no because they didn't take that. So right then and there, I should have been compensated. Right? I should have been compensated for that, and I was not. Like, everybody wants to know, oh, like you sold your house, you should have all this money. I'm like, I had a lot of debt to pay down. I still have debt. I had to live off of credit cards for 2 years until I sold my house to move. And then I had to, the taxes off of all of that was insane. I had to pay property tax. I had to pay a lot of things. I don't have the credit like I used to anymore. I only got one credit card paid off. And that was a significant amount of money. I have like three that need to be paid. That was me living for 2 years. And I wasn't going to just like take all that money that I sold my house. I had to furnish this house. I had to upkeep this house. So it's, you know, what does one do? Right? No one was hiring me. My neighbor, like, God bless one of my neighbors, she gave me money and greens to house sit her dogs. And then I had an ex who would pay me to clean his house because he was also, he had a um badge of honor. He never got it, but you know, a lot of that stuff too. I had people get in trouble for forging cards. You know, if we go back to that time, you know, a lot of people already have forgotten what sacrifices a lot of us blue state patriots, I was a blue state patriot, made. And I didn't have the help back then. And if you go back 3 years ago on my channel and watch like the earlier videos, I'm a freaking hangry, need a Snickers bitch. Because I was so sick and tired of seeing being a part of a community that like ignored the fact that I was screaming like I need help. You know, I get it. You don't know who's scamming you. You don't know what's going on, but I was emaciated. You could see it. I looked like I was dying. You know, I give myself a lot of compassion for that time. I needed to go through that. I wrote it for myself, but it was a part of my soul asking me like, okay, like you got to ask for help. You can't do this by yourself anymore. Um, and I have spiritually grown in 3 years quantumly. I had a lot of this information for years simmering in my brain, and I was giving people advice for years. It's not until I got here and got myself calmed and brand new space, brand new energy, that the explosion of more things to come have been coming in. I know that a said friend of mine played a video yesterday. It's not far off from the truth. It's not, because I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. There's a lot of narrative steering and program steering in it. So just be careful and be objective. Tap into the heart right here. I urge you to, please, because thank you, Eric. You rock. Thank you, thank you. You will get a cat in the box emojis. Thank you, thank you. I know that my best friend has the best intentions for everybody. Um, Video wasn't completely off, but as soon as the narrative started to be steered with, once again, the Anunnaki nonsense, it's not nonsense. But I posted a video about the Orion Lyran Wars. I might drop that link into the description. It's Ashiana Dean's concepts, but it's not just hers. It's mixed with other people's stuff. And the person who narrates it, and there's like, it's cool, it has like anime and stuff. They do some cartoons. To tell the story. There's other people's content in there. I know who have it's a few people, it's not just one. But Ashiana Dean is the major backdrop of the story of that war, but amongst other people's, so that that person is taking like the collective and like they went in with this and now they're like narrating it for you. That is more accurate from an upstairs perspective than is what was shown yesterday. We got to get out of the fanciful Marduk, Enki, and Lil. You give them too much energy, too much time wasted in distraction. And guys, yes, the Anunnaki seeded us. We are Anunnaki. Okay. But we're also Syrian, Palladian, Andromedan, Antarian, Arcturian, Boots. We're a whole compendium of things. We cannot limit ourselves to one fucking race that, oh my God, they were on Earth and they claimed us and they put the gold. Yeah, I do a whole series on the alien gray agenda. That's right, Charlie. That's right. But there are a lot of people still like allowing the I call it CNN syndrome, allowing sources that everybody here knows me to some sort of capacity. You can go back into my videos from 3 years ago and see, like, I've been saying very similar things. Now it's like more defined and packaged a little bit better. But I just, inside me, upstairs through me wants you all to know, seriously, your ears need to be very objective to what you actually allow rent up in your mind. Okay? You have it's amazing to understand the galactic components to everything. It's interesting. Like I was telling Scott, hi, hair care. I was telling Scott, I listen to these things time and time again when I need it to get my downloads. So I listened to the Orion Lyran Wars. I started getting my serious downloads. I started out with the Palladian downloads, and then it merged to Alpha Beta Centauri downloads. Now I'm on my Sirius, and before that, I was like sifting between a couple of other places. Um, the major crux of the soul pie chart, a Palladian, that's where another concurrent life is happening right now. I am Palladian in another body right now. I know this, right? And then I'm getting flashbacks of me coming to Earth. I was an archangel watching the Orion Lyran Wars happen. I was in the higher density because I'm very connected with the galactic community. Uh, First Lady Erica, my friend Terry, my friend Jonathan, they're very galactic in soul. Um, they had a conversation I was a part of, and they were talking about it. And we were kind of all like closing our eyes and meditating on it. And I was seeing what was happening to them. And they kept asking me, like, okay, so where are you in perspective to what is happening to us? I'm like, I'm watching you. They're like, okay, now take yourself back into what that looks like. I was just light. And then after the fact, we did another meditation to find out where and what I was. Was I an alien being? Was I in a mothership? No, I was an archangel watching it happen, trying to do my best to hold space. Um, so we all have a part to play, and we all have to understand many of us were on that negative side and are on the negative side in another body concurrently. This is hard to stomach for some people. Like if I were to go over to Jason's and say, "Hey Jason, you could possibly be an Alpha Draconian right now." What would you do? Because in this body, this consciousness, you chose the light, but you're very polarized. What happens if you are Alpha Draconian? I know I have Draconian in me. I have the light side to it, but I have other aspects of me that are playing dark right now. But that's only up until fifth density. Only up until fifth density. Um, we have to remind ourselves we're all one. We're all one. Fractaled and differentiated so Source can have a unique experience through you. That's why we have to stop judging our other selves. I had this conversation today. I'm in a classroom with people who are so CNN controlled. They're on that other side of the fence. And I'm like, you guys, you're so obsessive about that side, the one you hate, when you and I have the control now. If shit's really going back to the states, we dictate what those states are going to look like. So stop throwing your power away to things you don't prefer, and let's come together and start doing what we all prefer. Does that not make sense? And they're like, oh no, that makes sense. Okay, so why do you have to continuously point and spew, just like our side does it to them? We have to stop. We're all one. How do we work together in unity? Oh, well, Allison, the truth has to come out. Their truth and their perspective is different from ours. And I'm now coming from a neutral spot. I'm coming from the middle spot because I see both sides. There's a lot of false light going on outside right now. A lot of false light. 98% of us know what's in the JFK files without even having to ask questions. Most of us have done enough research to know who and what orchestrated what. Now, does it necessarily matter? That's the question. Yes, and it's the truth. It's the truth. That's the ego speaking, right? So a lot of people just don't only associate ego in certain aspects and not others. Right. We still need the ego to live down here in 3D. We still need it. It's still very vital for us to have it. That's where our boundaries come in. That's where we still have our sense of personality, our characteristics. That comes out with our ego. That still needs to happen. Some of us, my ego is being taken over by my higher self. So yeah, did I have a hard week? Absolutely. Am I going to persevere through it? And like I said, if he was still alive today, I'd be persevering, trying every which way to get that cat healed. I put my best intentions out there instead of just giving up and throwing my hands up and saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Fuck life. I didn't do that. I didn't do that either when I lost everything and had no family and nobody to help me. I wasn't giving the fuck up. I stood in my convictions. I said, I'm going to get through this. Hell or high water. Middle finger up in the air, high. I'm going to persevere through this situation. That's what we all need to do in this now moment. And do you authentically. I listen to things objectively. I don't listen to the hate anymore. It hurts my ears. When you realize that God's in all things, God is omnipotent and omnipresent, and you actually take that in and understand it, and walk it, you're going to stop judging every other person. You're going to stop looking at these stories that are being told. Because once again, all these books behind me, especially channeled books, that's a smidgen piece of a bigger fractal, of a bigger picture, of a bigger story. His story. Hi, Gregory. His story. I was telling Taylor, because he really likes the Owaspy book. It says it. It's from the Orion constellation. So therefore, it is not from Earth beings. Earth beings were channeled and wrote the book physically. But that's channeled from the Anunnaki and some of the nastier beings. And again, I'm labeling them just for our minds to comprehend. Is it completely wrong? No, there's some good stuff in there. But what does that side have to say to you? They give you inversions. We call it satanic. Let's stop doing that because Satan is God, just a negative pull of God. We even gave Lucifer his story. His story. We came up with his story. Unless you were there and remember the fall of souls into matter, that's the fall. You with God up here. You're with the neutrons, photons, quarks, quantum states, subatomic particles. You're whizzing around up there in consciousness of light. And then all of a sudden you start dropping down and you have more consciousness in different areas and arenas. And then you keep dropping and then you keep dropping and then you keep dropping and you keep dropping and you keep dropping. And here you are, human. um, sorry for my hair. I have hat head. Um, it is brutally, it's still cold out. Um, I think it was like 1 degree when I left this morning for work. And it might be 20 degrees. It's 19 with a real feel of 8. So yeah, no shower tonight. I'm gonna probably have to go to Vikings, take a shower. I'm not happy about that. So in my interpretation and what upstairs has given me, the fall is us as a soul decreasing itself into matter. Okay. The equivalent of what we call and refer to as an old soul is one who has incarnated multiple times in multiple vehicles that is in matter. I'm a fucking champion of that shit. 28,000 fucking bullshit years of doing that. That's a lot. That's a lot. Well, thank you for becoming a member, Roger. I have it on the smallest tier. I know how pinched people are right now. I know, trust me. I get it. Um, and the support of the membership really helps because guess what? Yesterday I got a text message that my internet bill was raised. Let me do the math. I suck at math, even though I did a bunch of it today with the kids. $64 it went up. I was paying $80. Now I have to pay $144. I am looking for another service, by the way. I'm not paying that. I just have internet. I don't stream anything. I don't have I had an Xbox that I was using as a, when I wanted to watch something. Um, but it's just internet. And my internet's been spotty. So I got to look for another company around here, and it's really just two. So I honestly that's a big bill. Um that is so yeah, Buckshot, that's what I have to look into. Yeah, it is $50 for the internet. I have to see because of the streaming and going live and stuff, what that will do on a desktop. And the reach, because my box is on the opposite side of my house. I have to figure that out. But I have T-Mobile as a phone service and carrier. So I'm gonna get my ass down there and check it out, and then by the end of the month, cancel the other one because they're like, oh, the package you have is no longer. Well, you didn't email me to tell me that you were changing anything, and then I just get this bill. Like, I don't have money like that right now. Um, Viking has a T-Mobile thing, so I have to ask him how he likes it. I mean, I have to see how that's gonna work in the house. But I mean, otherwise, that's expensive. I have Xfinity. New York, I had Time Warner. Then my mom had to switch it to Verizon because the line underneath my street needed to be fixed. And they never fixed it. And my mom used to be a television whore. QVC, HSN, Hallmark Channel, and then like Lawrence Wilk and Nick at Night. That's all my mother used to watch. She drove me fucking crazy with the bullshit all day long. She had to have television on all day long. Love you, mom. But no. 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 Oh, that's awesome, Buckshot. Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I'm very limited here in what is available to use that actually works properly. Because I try calling them, like getting a human on the fucking phone. Holy shit. Even the text, like you have a question, you're not talking to a human, you're talking to AI, and they don't fucking answer you. I was trying to conversate, try calling all day long yesterday because I'm just like, dude, no, I'm not paying this. No, Scott, hey, Roger, no. I will explain it. Ascension, in our terms, right in the now moment, is consciously being aware, having a lot more awareness, and everybody's awareness is going to be different from everybody else's. In the law of one, Ra explains the harvest, its ascension, same shit. Pistis Sophia also goes into the ascension ladder. Yeshua talked about it in the Gnostic work. On Dolores Cannon's Three Waves of Volunteers book, it says there's going to be a split, the new earth and the old earth. And that's just a term that we give it to make it make sense in your mind. When Ra talks about a service to others and the service to self group, you also have a service to source. There's three, but we stick with two. The service to others group is going to ascend to a 4D polarized positive environment. They will still, here's a caveat. There's still going to be duality that plays out in 4 and 5D. It still exists. It will be lessened because we have now matured our consciousness enough to be in the awareness of what we prefer and what we do not. Also, our 3D contracts of limitation and separation will have ended. We have gone through all the hardships. We have done a lot. I'm not going to fully do all the healing, but we're going to do enough of it to release, to have compassion, unconditional love, to ascend over here. Now, those who don't have purity of heart, and that I could say a lot of humanity does not have, because they're still in ego, they're still in the illusion. Now, is it their fault? This is again God playing through certain people, certain things, in certain modalities. The people who chose the service to self path, the negative polarized path, is still of God. They will be going over to their paradigm where duality still exists, but it's the power over others paradigm. This paradigm is unity consciousness. Have a good night, Charlene. Thank you for coming. That's right, Charlene. Wise words. So I have a satellite in my backyard, El Sunray, and I don't have good reception around here. A bunch of people around here, my neighbors, like when they met me, they were like, "Don't do you have satellite back there? Don't go with it. It's too cloudy. We have too many storms." And that's the truth. So all, where we go one, we go all. We're all shifting to 4D, whether you like it or not. And most of us are already consciously there. Most of us are going to die in our vehicles. Okay, so don't think that this flash of stupid light is coming and you're ascending. You already have ascended already to 4. You're there. Your body has to alchemize itself. That's why we're getting the Schumann, we're getting assistance from the galactics, from the angelics, from the higher councils, from the celestials, the elementals. They're all coming in. All of these entities are coming through the light that's already been hitting us from the sun. Not the one that's in the firmament, the central sun. The sun that we have, that is the portal, that's the consciousness, that's taking from the central sun and then shooting it to us. In my estimation, this is what I've been told and what I resonate with. You don't have to resonate with it, please. But heart align with what you wish. For me, consciousness equals energy. Light equals energy equals consciousness. Those 3 things string together in quantum physics. Light holds consciousness. The light codes coming from the earth, the light codes coming from the galactics are merging with us. That's why we need to stay grounded. We're getting a lot from here. We need to ground because we're still receiving from Mother Gaia consciousness codes. One's grounding us, one's elevating us. And we're sitting in the middle. And there's friction because you're still purging your old self. We got to purge. That's what for me, how I interpret the Schumann resonance is the red is our purging. It's still light, it's still information, but the old information has to go somewhere and it's coming out of us. This is what you're seeing on your outside world. You're seeing people in mass chaos, Oh my God, Orange Man bad. Oh my God, the dissension. This is happening and that's happening. And I stopped. I stopped caring, honestly. Why? We all fucking wrote this bitch. We wrote it. All of us together. We sat in this big room up before we even came into matter. And we wrote out the yugas, we wrote out our lifetimes, we wrote out all kinds of stuff. And sure, we can refine it once we transcend back into spirit. And we go, that wasn't working. Okay, what in the experiment will work? Let's try it. And we have come back down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up. We've done this boogie on dance for lifetimes, millennia, cycles. You're not necessarily stuck here, Roger. It we have to come into an awareness that what people are saying about us shifting in this vehicle, in this body, is semi-correct. I don't even think I'm going to see ascension in this vehicle. I don't know if I want to be quite honest. I want to be my light body. I love my light body. I know what it feels like. It is a beautiful feeling to absolutely feel free. I know what that feeling feels like. It is insanity. Hard to put to words how to describe that feeling. Most of us are not going to move forward in our vehicles now. Some will, but I don't see it being a large percentage of us. And that's not a bad thing. We have to close out our 3D cycle somehow. We already have merged. Most of us are in, believe it or not, 6 to 7 density consciousness thinking. That's why a lot of us volunteered to come back down, to be a way shower, to light the path for others to follow and walk down. That's one of my biggest missions here on this planet. And it already has been since I was a baby. I came down to seed the light, to hold the light, to be the frequency that others can, even if it's unconscious, start questioning their reality. More and more now, we just had a timeline shift, and I don't know how far back it's going to let me go. It's not. I'm a jerk for not taking the picture. It's kind of hard to see. Damn phone. But we're spiking again right now, but not all the way down the chart. A little bit. But when you see a black line in the Schumann resonance, that's a quantum leap. That's a time dilation. Buckshot, you rock. Who, what? My digits are visible if anyone clicks on my profile. What the hell goes on Telegram? Oh, I don't understand what that is. I don't like Telegram. Sorry, guys. I went to check Schumann resonance, and now I'm getting told that if you click on me, digits? What kind of digits? I don't see anything in that channel. My other channel. I don't know. I've been getting really weird messages today. Um, so the negative polarized people, the Hillary, I'll just name them, the Hillary Clintons of the world, they're moving on up with us. They chose a story, a theme to play out on our reality that woke us up. If they didn't do the vile shit and make it actually like visible to see it, would you be awake right now? Be honest with yourself. I don't see my phone number, and I don't know if anybody goes to my uh Telegram and sees my digits, let me know. I don't really get to answer my phone much anyway because I'm literally at work all day. And then I go to sleep early, so I don't know who's calling me. If I don't recognize your number, leave me a message. Otherwise, yeah. So a lot of us have to be in the realization that the negative people are also moving on up. The ones that we deem horrible. We have to get that concept out and stop judging. That's hard right now because we're in maximum potential of distortion, meaning all of polarity is extremely distorted to one side or the other. And this is for other people to choose. Which path do you want to take? That's your free will choice. You already chose the path that you are going to take, but you physically have to act it out. The teacher that I work with, very, 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 very judgmental on the other side, just as most people are on the other side as well, from our perspective. And I try to like see to her, you're looking at extremes, you're not looking at a totality. You're looking and calling people this, but do you really know? Unless you put yourself in another person's shoes and see it from their perspective, it is very hard to know why certain people think the way that they do. We got to be consciously more on the awareness scale that most people have been watching TV, listening and reading to propaganda. They're not thinking for themselves. They think that they are, but they're not. You also have the lower fourth astral dimension to deal with, which is polarized negative, some positive, but mostly negative. That's all of our thought streams and negative energy collected in the ectoplasm of goop that we call demons and negative nasties. We create the demons. We create the demons and the negative stuff. If you want evidence of this, go watch the Dead Files on the Travel Channel. There's other channels that host them now. Amy Allen is a fantastic medium. She worked with a New York City homicide detective on this channel, and she was like, "Oh, the child is creating the PKE manifestations, which is the shit coming from the ceiling." And outside entities that's been here since the dawn of time can latch on to that energy and make their way in and cause havoc in your house. That stuff is real. It's not real. It's real. But it's our fucking collective nonsense that goes on in our brains that creates this shit. And it could be lifetimes. I know this land that I am living on is very tainted. And I have to slowly release and clear the energy from decades of this land, millennia of this land was taken from the Indians by the white man. All serves a purpose, I guess, but the negative entities are here for us for our teaching and learning experiences. When you take the galactic stories that you're being told or you're listening to, go in with an objective mind. What you resonate is what you resonate with. And understand the other side is teaching you a lesson and giving you an experience. You're doing the same for them. When you see the outside, up top perspective looking down and looking at the war for what it actually is, and looking at all the aspects of why people made certain choices, what's being fed, what's hive mind, what's not hive mind, what is influencing, what is it really going on both sides. Can't look at just one, gotta look at both. You have to analyze what the means of why for both sides. If source gave a commandment and said, thou shalt not kill, well, almost 99.9% of humanity that's incarnated during any kind of war or destruction participated in thou shalt not kill. But if you were to know non-duality and see it that you needed to be the victim and the victimizer in one or two lives, you had to be the killer to understand the emotional states, the feeling, the emotions behind it. And then next time you go, oh, well, I didn't prefer that. I'm not a killer. I'm a lover. Okay, so now you just explored that kind of life. Now you know, your soul knows, it grew. It said, nope, not for me. I had to have this to understand it, to feel it, to encompass it, to walk through it. But I am not a killer. So therefore, let's try to not put me in that scenario again. Next life you choose, you're the victim of that. Now you understand what it feels like to be killed, to be a victim, and then you grow from that experience. And next life you just progress and you keep going. And each life you have different experiences, different themes to play out, different experiences that your soul needs to grow. Who is anybody, one of us, to ask, well, you were born a Jew, so you are now thus deemed Satan. You eat children. You do all this stuff. Is that actually correct? For some, sure, totally is, but not for everybody. You might not like what their stupid book says, but again, it's his story. All of it is his story. It's all perception. It's all interpretation. We all interpret and perceive reality differently. So there is not one way of looking at something. There's millions and billions of ways to look at something. And as we're shifting to fourth density, we are refining those definitions, those pathways. We're refining it. We're taking his story and we're shrinking it down, saying what is going to serve us moving forward. That the information that no longer serves us, Adi effing O's, doesn't serve us. Shouldn't rent space in my head. It goes over there. I was a little kid, Roger, and I started having reoccurring snapshots. We would call them dreams. But as a little child, I would see myself, knowing it was myself, in Ireland, ascending a spiral staircase of stone, white stone, coming down a little like pillar into what would assume to be like a galleyway, coming out and getting on a white horse with my sister. Both of us were wearing emerald green velvet dresses, so I was probably royalty of some sort. Get on my horse, overlooking a cliff. There was water, so I was on the coast somewhere, and then going through a plain of just grass and going into the woods and going into a cottage to dry herbs. And I can recall this, and I've had this recall since I was 4, 5 years old. And each time I go in to having this, it's the same scenario, same thing playing out. I haven't gotten to where I need to get to. I was told some hints, but it's just not my time yet. I'm supposed to find a key in that cottage. That key opens up the doorway to my gatekeeper guide. That's my sister. She is holding that key for me. That key would help me do mediumship, meaning I could talk to anybody's passed on relative. I don't have that ability yet. It might happen, it might not happen. My upstairs team has told me my mission requires me to channel. So the medium stuff is not present. The channeling is. Because I'm channeling from higher densities than from fourth, fifth, and sixth. I just had coffee splash on me. So they're not past lives, they're concurrently happening lives on a different paradigm. So in the holographic book that I'm reading, in a quantum state, once you observe certain types of particles, they change its waveform. So when you observe particles, they change. They do certain things. They're silly. Think about that. So when you're elevated to a certain frequency, your body, your awareness, your eyes are going to start seeing the unfoldment of the overlays of the different densities are overlapping ours. We are living a multiverse. So there's millions and millions and millions of versions of you right now playing out different roles, different paradigms right now. So it's hard to wrap your head around it. There is no past, present, or future. It's only the now moment in time, space. Our brains can't really comprehend it because we can't see it, so it's not tangible to us. Many of us in the chat are having experiences of fifth density, little snapshots. I had it over the summer going out and mowing my lawn, and then the whole feeling around me changed. I had butterflies swarming around me. I just felt glittery and happy, and wow, this is like the best feeling ever. I want to keep this. I did for a little bit, but I couldn't hold it. The butterflies dispersed and all left. But I had that after effect of like, wow, this is great. I had friends from New York tell me that they saw the Matrix glitch. They saw the trees digitize. I'm having more and more of my normal friends that don't really do or speak spiritually tell me that they're seeing things fade in and out of existence. It might be in a snapshot or it might be a few seconds that they're seeing things disappear and reappear or fade. So a lot more people are having these experiences. And when we want to look back into what we are, but in different aspects of ourselves, the easiest thing for you to do to even remember right before you go to sleep, say, hey, self, higher self, angels, guides, whatever you want to pray to, talk to, emote yourself to. Can you drop me in a snapshot I can remember or have recall for? I want to recall. I want to experience. I want to remember. I want to recall what I am right now. What's the best and highest serving me now from another life that I can tap into? Um, I would have to go through Brian Scott's playlist on his channel. He has some really good meditations for recalling, I think. I've done a few angel ones he's done. Those were very powerful, by the way, at least for me. Um, there has to be other people that do that. Let me see. Hang on. It's not showing me anything. My digits. I don't see my digits. I think I was hacked somewhere. My information is getting out. I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, so before I forget, as I'm trying to look for these past life things, um, tomorrow, 1:25 at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central on the We Not Me private Zoom chat. I will see if I can get this linked onto my channel. So if anybody is interested in coming and hanging out, I don't know where I'm going to be, by honest. But go and join Buckshot's Zoom call. It's fun. I was there for a little bit last week, but then, you know, Odin. Sad. Very sad. Oh, hello. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. I honestly would suggest to listen to Brian Scott read Daniel Scranton's channelings. I can say that every time I listen to Brian Scott read them, because I also watch and follow Daniel, because he does little shorts. I get more from Brian than I do from Daniel. Don't know why. It's probably the frequency, but I'm saying the same thing. I other people have watched it and said the same thing, like you're saying the same thing. I'm tapping into the Arcturian Collective and whoever else, the founders, whatever you want to put a name and label, they don't have names up there. They have frequency and sound. We just have to give names to things because that's how our brain operates. Um, Hang on, guys. I don't know if my chat is not working. I've been having problems all day. Okay. All right, cool. Um, if anybody is in my scenario with the financial stuff, his wealth meditations and activations are super helpful. They're really, really good. He has letting go, starship meditation. So there is a whole bunch of meditations and just listening to him. Recapitulating is also something I recommend to people. Recapitulation is when you revise your day. So right before you go to sleep, you had a fucked up day. Like I had a fucked up week. On Wednesday, when I didn't do a video, I really sat and did a lot of introspection. I did a lot of questioning of self because I'm angry. Like I'm missing something and no one's giving me the answer to what I'm missing. Where's my block? If there is a block, why do I keep experiencing this shit? Recapitulation is really going into your imagination and replaying your day out as if what went wrong went right. And this trains your mind, alchemizes your shit. He has a lot of playlists. I'm trying to find it. Jesus. Getting a download. Mother effer. This is taking forever to find. Also, his guided meditations to New Earth might help you. Remember, it's a state of mind. We're not really physically moving anywhere. Like when people say the shift is happening, do you really think you're going to wake up? Some people may wake up on a ship. I'm not going to lie. That was your soul contract. Other people are going to wake up and it's going to look the same. The only things that will be different is the feeling you receive from your environment. You're going to feel a little uplifted. And as the course of time and people start recognizing it's just a state of mind, it's consciousness, it's the energy within, you're going to start seeing changes to the landscape, but not drastically. That's going to take forever. Sandlot, forever. Um, if you guys have television, I urge you to watch Dark City. That's a mind-blowing. That was before the Matrix. There's an alien race that puts everybody to sleep and changes their memories. They inject memories into people and then they become different things. And some people, we will call them divergent, have their memories and they don't go to sleep where everybody else does. And they advance society and things morph and the buildings get bigger and modernize. And this guy learns how to tune. And at the end, you'll see, I don't want to blow the whole movie away, but I do a video on this. Like, he creates a reality for everybody to experience. That's why that movie is very important to watch, to have an understanding of how powerful we are once we remember the divineness that we are. Past lives, or what we would consider past lives in our human brain, they're going on right now. So in reconstructing reality in that book, the being is on fifth density. She has a divine complement. So her masculine self and the female self are separated in healing. So they go to these little pods and they project themselves, they densify themselves as a spirit guide to their third dimensional other selves. So this being, fifth density, goes down and heals all the aspects of herself instead of fear with love, which ripples in time change. We are going to do the same thing. When we die, we're going to ascend. If we're meant to go to Venus, if we're meant to go to Arcturus, if we're meant to go to another system, we will. We will be embodied. We'll be light beings. Some of us will be informed. Everybody chooses something different. Don't worry. You're entangled to your family. You're entangled to your pets. This is why I'm not hysterics over Odin. I cried because I was upset at the situation and how it went down. But I know he's fine. He's going to heal. He's going to hang out with Ethan and Morgan, and they're all going to train each other how to come back down and be human, because that's what they're doing. They're elevating, their evolution is happening. Animals will become third density souls. We were once the animals. We are the grass. We are the trees. We are the animals. But consciously, their evolution is going to start happening. They're going to become human. That's why I have children who are nonverbal, who have autism. And yeah, you could blame it on everything else, but that's what their soul chose to experience. So we have to stop at the nonsense. Well, they're being poisoned. Sure, it serves a purpose. All things, whether good or evil, serve a purpose in God's realm. Once you can understand that fully and stop judging it for what it is, you'll start seeing how I see the reality of this world. The ego will still blame, shame, and separate you from all things. Because you're an individual soul here, right here, playing out a role. That's a hard fucking bargain to deal with. That's hard to understand. What are you talking about on the blade of grass? What? You're entangled to all things. God said, let there be. God spewed photons and frequency and consciousness scattered about. Right now, many of us are planets, mountains, rocks, the air, the fire. We're all things. You consciously chose to be in form. Your other selves are a planet right now. You could be Jupiter for all we know. You have a consciousness. You're there right now. Go watch Powder. They're telling you. It's through fiction. It's through a story. But that is it's to knock the blow out of what really is going on in our reality. It's not easy to comprehend in this mind. Like, what are you talking about? So I'm the fucking grass. you're batshit crazy. Totally understand that. But when you apply your all things and all things are omnipresent, God is within you, omnipotent and omnipresent, really think about what that is. Everybody's seeking for a savior outside of self. Yeshua is outside self. Buddha is outside self. God is outside self. Okay, the ones that created us are outside self. We have their genetic makeup and their DNA experiment. But if they didn't do the experiment, we wouldn't be here. Go listen to my Blavatsky. Blavatsky makes a whole lot of sense, even though I butcher every damn Indian name from the Bhagavad Gita and the other text she pulls from. They have the understanding. It might not be in the specific way that it's being portrayed, but there's a lot of substance to Blavatsky's work that a lot of people are not putting the dots together. There are higher ended beings. That's what these books are trying to explain to you. I don't agree with the story they're narrating, but they're very similar in the upper heavens and down here. They have to densify. We had to densify to come into this form, and we're like a little percentage of our whole selves. So take that into consideration. I'm totally gonna have to go through the, how many videos does this guy have? I can't even count. He has over 2.6 thousand videos. So I'm very much in hopes that I can find some of those meditations for you, Roger. The deep sleep super magnetic abundance is you slept with that over the weekend. Deep sleep meditation, large sums of money flow to me. This will activate your mind to shift into a timeline of lifelong prosperity. Deep sleep meditation, quantum jumping into your dream life. Deep sleep meditation, I am God. And all right, I've been asked this as well. The Akashic Records. I know people can read them, and they're not necessarily wrong, but I could probably tap into some people, right? I don't do it because in every now moment you are shifting your vibration and your thinking. So when you're listening to expanded information that you're first learning, your vibration raises, you jump to a different timeline. When you're excited and you hit a state of like, oh, I'm so excited, this is great, all those things are going to start connecting to you. Your mind is going to connect to things. That's quantum entanglement. You're going to find the things you're entangled to, and they're going to unfold for you. That shifts your energy, shifts into a timeline where you're going to discover all this stuff. Each and every one of us jumps constantly. So for anybody to say, I'm going into your Akashic records, the books are always and continuously being written. They were already written to an extent, but whatever book they pull out to read or to pull the energy streamline. Oh, thank you, Roger. You rock. You're getting emojis too. Roger, let me just explain. The book we are finishing us as a collective, we're finishing the 3D book. All of us collectively are going to finish this book. You're going to finish your individual book, right? So Christina, that's the thing, right? We can see certain timelines, right? That, like, if I wanted to read one of you guys, I might be able to, if I really sat and really honed into somebody's energy. I actually hone in better in person. So I'm very hands-on with, that's why I'm with the kids. I have to be hands-on. That's just my ability, my skill set. But I could still read people's intentions and give you some sort of like guidance. But kids who are activated, who are constantly shifting because they're elevating their own selves, you're not going to be able to see much of their future because it hasn't been written by them yet. They didn't choose anything specifically yet because they're waiting for us to shift further into consciousness in order to remember what timeline they're jumping to. Then you might have a potentiality of, like, instead of 1 billion timelines to read, you're only reading like 10. And some stuff will look very similar in every timeline. A catalyst that will help a child, or help anybody for that matter, learn a lesson will occur no matter what density. If it didn't happen in 3, it's going to happen in 4. If it didn't happen in 4, it's going to happen in 5. It depends how the soul wants to play it out. Um, our kids have brilliant futures in front of them. The obstacle that is going to come in the next couple of years is the shift in humanity's consciousness, which is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. Depends how everybody's adjusting to the energies. We're going to have a big influx of waves of passings of animals and people, and take that in stride as well. Hi, Amy. Take that in stride as well. A lot of people are going to be leaving. They're going to transform and transmute their energy and get another body. We're still consciously expanding. We didn't do it the body. The body's going to be later on. If you make it, great. If not, that there's no right or wrong, and there is no, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to transcend in this body. If I do, great, but I want to be hit and struck by lightning, and I want my essence to be scattered across the 4 winds, and I want to go to my light body, because that's where I'm most comfortable. Where we go one is that humanity's all shifting to the higher octaves of 4, 5. We're not going to hit 5 for a few years. So I don't know why people are, I mean, that's their perspective, and they're allowed to have their opinion and their, obviously, their projection. I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. I'm just being practical with what I'm saying and seeing and feeling in the collective. Right now, we chose a slower path. We want to take as many people as possible with us. Everybody's coming with us, whether they acknowledge it or not. But many of us who are already consciously on the higher paths, we're going to start to see people fade away. We're going to start seeing people less. So let's just say you graduate, like I already hit my 20-year high school graduation. a lot of those people have already faded out of my existence because not just because I moved, even when I was living in Staten Island, a lot of those people were not on my vibration. That doesn't mean they don't exist. That just means I'm not in contact with them. Now apply that to your life and see how many people have shifted away from you because you're no longer a vibrational match to them. Doesn't mean they don't exist. It just means that they faded out of your life and you never see them. And you may never see them again. Hi, Rob. So when we look into our moving on up and shifting, notice what is fading out of your existence, what no longer is serving you, who is not serving you anymore. For me, a lot of people that I used to talk to on the phone constantly and give advice to have faded away. Not because they're horrible people, they're still living in a lot of duality. They want other people dead. They're not seeing the bigger picture. They're not seeing how things are playing out in reality that I'm perceiving and many other people are perceiving. They're not there yet. They might fade back into my existence once they figure out that I'm not batshit crazy and that I have some validity to what I'm saying. That's a lot of the we not me population. You know, in one breath, people are projecting certain things, but in their heart space, they still feel a certain way. And it's coming out. And it's beautiful to see people like, oh, like catch themselves. Oh, wait, I didn't mean it. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Fuck. That's because they're still training their mind to come to center. And I love seeing it. I just can't be a part of it. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. Not because I hate, not because I judge, because my boundaries are set. My soul set some boundaries up, and I hate to say this, they're sticking. I had to stop allowing myself to lower my frequency for other people. And it hurts because I don't wish anybody well. Like, I wish everybody well. I don't wish anybody harm. But at some point, it gets so tiring to take in all that. I'm an empath. So, regardless of how many times a day I shield and put up my defenses, I'm still absorbing people's crap. I don't want to feel crap anymore. I don't want to feel other people's disdain for the world. I have my own challenges with this world. I have my own challenges with my higher self. Like, why the fuck would you take a cat that I just adopted and loved dearly and just this happens? This fucking rare crap happens. Oh, Ethan, the same thing. I had no idea that Ethan had a brain tumor or had a stroke or had oncomings a stroke. Cats are really hard to like actually diagnose with anything because they don't show you that they're in pain or that they're suffering. They give you little signs like Odin just seemed like he was depressed. He was eating, he was pooping, he was drinking water normal. There was some a little different behavior, but I didn't have him long enough to know. Like Ethan and Morgan had different like seasonal things that they went through. Like Morgan used to hide in different spots in the winter than the summer. She used to be all over me in the summer. And winter, she would go near the vents and hide and sleep all day. That was her thing. I don't know. I didn't have him that long to know his cycles. So I don't know what he's doing, right? Yeah, I had to put my chat on twice just so I know that I pop out, I can see it. The same thing with the dog or any animal. Like, why did I have to experience that? And then on top of that, can't afford anything. Like now I have a valve I have to replace. Viking told me who to call. He's like, I don't want to do it because God forbid I fuck up. You're screwed. Rather be somebody licensed and you give the $100 to. I'm like, okay, great. I'll have to wait for my paycheck to come in next week and hopefully could pay my bills and then I can call. Um, Life happens. But I'm like asking upstairs, like, what is this lesson that I need to learn? Why is everything around me dying? Right? It breaks me in some avenues, Christina, because like I honestly have so much on compassionate, unconditional love for so many people in that community. Um, really, my mission was to be here in seed and whole frequency and help Jason, Dina, Jack get a community going of like-minded, loving, beautiful souls. And it started out that way. And I mean, it has been that way because, and then something within me shifted, doing my own reading, channeling a lot more, bringing in higher essences through me. My whole paradigm shift within the last year. And it's really difficult to watch people spew nothing but hate at each other, nonetheless to humanity. It hurts me because I know so many of those people are really beautiful souls. They're still separated in their illusion. They're still in an illusion. They're still in limitation. And I give that compassion and grace. But at some point, myself has to say, okay, the line is drawn. You can no longer sit there to read so much hate and spew. Listen to the content. Stop reading the chat so much. And it also sucked a lot of my time out of my day. Yeah, I wasn't getting my own work done because I was doing everything for everybody else. And not to say that I wasn't happy doing it. I did it for almost 2 years. But at some point, I'm not getting compensated financially for it and also financially helping. And when I can't feed myself, that becomes a problem when I'm expending so much of my energy and time into something that is not really getting me anywhere back. And it's not to disrespect them at all, right? They're not in the best circumstances either. Listen, Buckshot, I'm all for I like going to work. Oh God, Amy. I mean, I'm only gonna be 42 in April. I have no choice. I have to work a physical job. I'm not some of these bigger channels that have like 715 subscribers. I don't have any of that. have, and maybe one day I'll get there, but it's not, for me, it's not about that. For me, it's just delivering the message because that's really why I'm here. If I can get compensated on the way, great. If not, I still have to find other avenues of making it work so that I can feed myself and keep this house alive. Stupid pipes. Girl, let me tell you, you'll Northwest Indiana has a lot of Mexican and a lot of authentic places up here. It's like New York and Staten Island. I think Buckshot could tell you, like Port Richmond Avenue is where you could get the best authentic Mexican food. Hang on, I have to blow my nose and it really hurt. Sorry about that. I had a hawk. Gross. No one needs to hear that. Today I dealt with a huge nosebleed out of one of the kids that was not fun. Blood everywhere. A nose picker. Well, I love you, Miss Amy, Auntie Amy. I mean, thankfully, my thyroid is starting to act up again, so like I'm retaining my weight. I am not losing. I lost 25 pounds from the summer, which is dramatic for myself, but that's what eating once a day will do to you. But I'm maintaining a nice healthy weight, so I'm hoping I can keep it on. Um, I swear, I worked with kids for 10 years. And before that, I worked with them even longer at like doing my other job, like the lifeguarding stuff. My immune system for 2 years was like top notch. Now all these kids, these parents are sending these kids in all snotty and coughing, and they don't, they're not developed, they're cognizantly not 100%. So a lot of them are just like coughing and it's like on me. I had a kid crying on me for 2 hours yesterday, drooling all over me. Like military showers only work for a little bit until like you have to get everything out. Um, so I probably will end up at Vikings later taking a shower because I can't. Um, like this is acting up again. And I've been taking black seed oil. I have a oregano oil, vitamin C, B12, D3, K2 with D3, and magnesium that I take on a solid. The black seed and the oregano I only take when I start feeling like something's coming on. And then I'll do elderberry with some honey. Love is wonderful. Like I yelled at Viking because I haven't heard from him since the girl's birthday, and I yelled at him, not literally in a bad way, but I'm like, where the fuck are you? Where are you? I know you're depressed. I read your charts. I know you're the absolute opposite from me. I'm an Aries, he's a Libra. 2 years and 6 months apart exact. So I already like he's opposite. I read some of his stuff and I'm like, no, you're depressed. You're going through a transition too. So am I. Um, I mean, I'm happy that I got an email saying that they chose me to be a mentor to the next para coming into my room. I'm gonna have no choice to but train her anyway because my teacher doesn't know. Um, so I'm really glad that's happening. Maybe this is a step up for me to prove my understanding of my job, and maybe I can move up the ladder and get something better, but that comes with time. That comes with time. Oh, Corey, you're so nice. For anybody that likes Oracle, I'm gonna read tonight, don't worry. Hang on. Uh, Secret Shaman Oracles. I've been listening to her for years, right? So like all the people that I've been watching tarot Oracle wise on YouTube, they all say the same thing. It doesn't really ever manifest for me. I put it out there. I chose a hard life. Having brilliantly, there we go, I got it, shows you off with a life of luxury. Where, I mean, once my water is fixed, I'll be luxuriously in my bathtub with frequency. But she's very good. So if you guys like Oracle cards, um, hi Jenny. If you like Oracle cards, this Secret Shaman Oracles, I really recommend her. Her oracles are very good. I listen to her a lot. I'm human, born in Aries. Viking is October 16th. I'm April 16th. So he is exactly, I don't know his time of birth. He doesn't know. Um, but I mean he uh, why I put on my thing, I didn't know a time. I still don't know like destination points around here. So when someone tells me, "Oh, we're going to this place, not that place, and here's the, landmarks," I still don't know landmarks around here. I don't even know a few. So he was telling me some stuff. I didn't know how far. I kind of knew it was close. Um, but we went to he took his Julie to a new spot because they have bigger lifts for bigger trucks. So I had to drive him back to my house to pick up his truck, his other truck. Um, so yeah, we had a chit chat. Hi, Nikki. How are you? So yeah, a lot of us are going through it in some form or another, right? I'm April 16th. I'm at 4:31 p.m. And I only knew that because after my mom passed, I went to the safe deposit box before they knew she died. Well, they don't, the bank still doesn't know my mom died. Um, and I cleared it out and I found my adoption records and I found information that even my mom didn't realize she had because I've been asking her since I was a little, since I knew charts, you could do charts online. They always needed the time to get an accurate chart. You need your time. That's awesome. I know a lot of people born in April. It's been bananas. A lot of I I thought I was rare in like my date. A lot of people have my date of birth. Nice, Buckshot. Uh, Which your birthday's coming up, Buckshot. How exciting. How exciting. Um, am I excited to be 42? No. No. Nope. I'm not, because I don't feel my age. Like even at work today, so the 100 days school is on Monday for us, and the kids were told to dress as grandmas and grandpas and old people. And I'm like, does my white hair count as anything? I don't need to get a wig. I could just show up and be like, and take my teeth out. I wish I could take my walker because I totally would. I have one that I used. Um, I'm not wearing a muumuu in this weather. No, not happening. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't. So when I'm at work, okay, this is the craziest part, right? Because I never had kids. I'm not married. And Viking, I don't know what where he stands in my life, if he's just a friend. I don't know. But regardless, I've been alone for a long time, up until moving here and being with him for just about a year, a little underneath. Um, I've always had the white hair for a while now. When I go to work, people don't know that I'm way, way older than them because I don't put myself in that 42 mindset. I don't want to be in that mindset. I want to be young. I don't sit there to adult. I don't like adulting. Sucks. I don't necessarily look my age. I do my makeup. If I took my makeup off, you could probably see I am wrinkling up here a little bit. I have some crow's feet here. I have like little lines here because I have no teeth in the back. But uh, all these women that are working with me are either my just about my age and they look 10 years older than me or younger than me, way younger than me. And they look way older than me. A lot of them don't realize how old I am. So when we have a conversation and I bring it back to, oh, I'm an early 80s baby, and they're like, what? You? I thought you didn't what wait. Whoa. Hold up. I get this a lot. Like, hold up. You didn't dye your hair. No, this naturally comes out. Wait. How old are you? 41. That's what I get. Like disbelief. And talking to the younger teachers and with especially with the T derangement syndrome, I'm like, I'm giving you worldly perspective. I'm not just saying something to make you believe me. I'm saying it because I've lived this a lot longer than you. And a lot of you have lived it a lot longer than me. My parents were boomers. They were 46. They're as old as Trump. And I made a comment today in the classroom. I said, have you guys, have you ever looked at like the stats of people? Like Trump is supposedly 6'3". how is JD Vance taller than him? I said, do you really now understand this? This is a movie playing out for you to understand a bigger picture, and that's not really Trump. And I'm like, if you look at Biden, I know you guys love him, but look at an older picture of him and then ask yourself, is that the same person from 87 to now? No. I said, look at different pictures of different people that you believe are ruining life for you when it's not, hasn't affected you. Ask yourself, are these people real? You know, Mark Zuckerberg had the alien cyborg look with brown eyes, and now he has blue eyes. Like people, oh no, that's Photoshop, Elsa, that's Photoshop. No, it's not. Hi, Ivy. What's up, girlfriend? Um, we so I'm trying to open up. This is how I'm seeding that other side. I'm doing it like through humor. I'm not spew like I'm MAGA. I'm not doing that because I don't need my work relationships to diminish quickly or people to have a judgment. I don't judge. They do. That's okay. But at the end of the day, I have to keep a mutual balanced relationship with people that I work with directly. So I kind of see like, hi guys, you guys have to know I'm really, that's true, Roger. I mean, in if we're looking at soul age in terms of carnations of experience, I'm way older than most souls that have come into form. I lived more lives than most people will in millennias. Most most enlightened souls, human souls that have higher conscious awareness are around a few thousand to up to 10,000. Some are on my projective scale, but most people are a couple of thousand. Some are on my almost 30,000 lives. That's a lot. Um, that's a lot. Um, and I'm not claiming either side anymore. Because I wasn't liberal. I was more libertarian. I grew up, my mom was the hardcore Democrat, my dad was a hardcore Republican, and not a rhino Republican. He was a Republican conservative. Yeah, go live in my house. To those arguments. But my parents, when they debated each other, did it respectfully, and they did it in a way that I sat back to absorb their points. And my mom had valid points, and so did my dad. And then I would just formulate both and be like, well, this makes sense on this side. That makes sense on this side. Okay, I'm really in the middle. Hi, Sparky. I'm in the middle. I don't want to. And then I started gravitating more towards the right in still keeping my neutral point, my libertarian side, because I see the agendas over there, but I also see the agendas on this side. There are agendas on both. And like I said today to them, the problem is you're seeing it from one angle, you're not looking at all angles. You're calling them a cult, they're calling you a cult. It's an inference. Stop the bullshit. When unity happens, you're all going to put your differences aside because you're going to want to work towards what works, and what it doesn't is going to fade away. You can hate whoever you would like in this world. That's you, and that's on you. I stopped the hate, and it's done a lot of good for me because now I can come into a conversation without feeling like, ugh, those people. Where I used to feel that way. Or, oh, they're brainwashed, they're ultra. Well, who isn't? That's a good ministry song, Anarchy. I love that song. Hi, Kat. We are a constitutional republic, and that's where I keep bringing them back to. I was like, well, everything's going back to the states. You could talk about the Constitution all day long. It's been broken a million times by the very thus said military that's supposed to uphold it. They don't uphold it. We're going back to the Articles of Confederation. And they're like, what? I'm like, those are really our founding documents, not the Constitution. The Bill of Rights are close behind all of that. And for Auntie Amy, the craft and sip I did on Tuesday, this is the finished product. It's Odin with his cute little pictures. That was the last one. Well, just about the last one when he was about dead. This is one of my favorite ones. I have more, but that's my memorial hang. Wow, my vision is a little skewed. Absolutely. Absolutely, Sparky. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That has a lot of things that really brought out the theater. It gave us the code for the movie. And people have uncovered and untangled the codes for all of us to understand the greater picture, the larger picture. That's what that unfoldment did for us. It helped me out a lot. It made looking into history and seeing what I don't prefer and what should I be preferring. Where humanity is stuck is that now we are all in the entanglement of what we don't prefer. We're not focused on what we are going to create as a whole. There's a lot of us who know what we want for the new world. We need to understand what did take place, the wrongs of society, the wrongs of humanity, to understand what we really should not go back to. And if we don't know what not to go back to, we're doomed to repeat it. Why we're doing everything twice. We're also merging back from 2012 to 0 point to that reset. Yay. Um, well, the good Chinese are a part of it too, and so is Russia, and so is a bunch of other countries that have capitulated and that are working together to help humanity. But there's a lot of inverse light going on right now. I have not. Give me a second, guys. Oh, I heard a noise. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I heard things. I did not. I got a boom boom right there. I got my boom boom on. You never know around these parts. Um, Let me check where the Schumann is. It's 19, it's 7 degrees. Chicken! Chicken. Yay. Chicken resets. Chicken resets. So that's why when I end all my stuff, I say, please seed your truths politely and respectfully, because you never know what seeds into somebody that grows. And then when they start seeing it, they start seeing your perspective a little better. They might not agree with it or align with it, but they at least see it. I mean, unfortunately, we're all one. So no matter what culture, what race, what language, what country we all stem from, we're all one. We're entangled to all things. Um, I it's interesting when I was a little kid and I was watching Reagan uh be inaugurated. Um, I said to my dad and I was young, you know, there's a shadow government. There's puppets behind a string. And I was 4 or 5. Hang on. Let me see. I want to make sure that I am doing accuracy here. Yes, I was 3. 3. And I remember saying to my dad, watching that, he was watching it on television. I remember where I was. I was on this ugly 70s couch in my first house that my parents adopted me and brought me to in Staten Island. Ugly house. Um, I remember the television. I remember watching this and saying to my dad, they're puppets on strings, Dad, puppets on strings. As I got older, I said there's a shadow government. And both my parents looked at me like I was fucking batshit crazy. I always knew. What really done me in was 9/11. And that's only because I experienced it, watched it, saw it with my own two eyes, and had to live through that and the rebuilding. Um, because none of it added up. Namaste, Ivy. You'd be proud of me. I did yoga with the kids in the classroom today. I was like, look, kids, this is how it's done. Um, so I always knew. Did I know the extent of how deep it went? But I always knew. What I said to the girls today was the military is in control of it all. And you have to understand the bit, you're not seeing the bigger picture. Because what they were saying today was, oh, the ICE agents were going to schools. I'm sorry. I don't keep up on the news and I don't watch certain channels anymore. But do you really think they're going to be pulling kids out of schools right now? That's more traumatizing to them because they just got their lives normalized. The kids are not the problem. They didn't ask to be shipped, removed, and rehomed. They didn't ask for any of this. I didn't say, well, do you know if they're really those people's children? Couldn't ask that, couldn't say that because I'd have an argument on my hands. I kept that shut, but I just put perspective to them. I'm like, what you're seeing is not really happening. And if it is, that's sad. I'm not opposed to certain things, but when it comes to children and their welfare in terms of their mental state, I mean, you got to look at it. If you, my notification went up, unstable internet. As soon as I pull cards. They do too, little Odin face. Yes, Sparky, yes. But the difference now is maturing the way in which we respond to giving a shit. Um, that's where humanity really needs to lift itself up. I give a shit big time. I just know what I am humanly capable of doing and not doing. I know what soul contracts are, how they are affecting everybody. And like myself, Odin was a part of my soul contract. His way of going out on the timeline that I chose to experience happened in this way, and it fucking blows ass. Blows. All had a purpose and a serving of a higher calling for whatever it means. I don't know yet. Sucks. My valve, my main waterline valve is leaking. Now I have to call in a plumber and pray that it's not a $2,000 job to fix. Not fun. Praying it's just a valve and an inconvenience. Yay! I know Odin, not Odin, sorry. Little Thor was at my house eating. I couldn't leave any wet food out because it would have froze when I left at 7 this morning. Um, I leave dry food out and I have the water bowl where the heater is so it doesn't freeze. But I saw his little paw prints in the snow because it snowed overnight. So I saw his little paws in my snow go into my backyard. So I know he came. They were fresh. Yeah, I mean Viking, he when I helped get his car to the auto mechanic and he left his truck here, so he came in to see uh what was going on because I said to him like I had to order Freya a new litter box. She's been going in a brown box with a bag with litter in it because I didn't know reading up on what happened to Odin is rare. His body mutated a virus. But because she's genetically linked with him, I don't know how the DNA of animals work in terms like humans, but I didn't need her to get that virus either or to get sick. Like last thing I need is my baby. She's the baby. Her birthday's on the 27th. So it'll be 3. But I don't need her going either. Like that kill me into millions of pieces. I love pets, and these are my babies. I don't have human babies or kids. These are my kids. It kills me. So I had to get her a new litter box. It came today, and I had to clean and get that litter box set up. It's not cheap. Yeah, he's been I have like chicken coop straw. That's like I have 2 blankets with straw on top, and then I have a heating pad with actual like hay straw on top of that, layers. So like he cannot get stuck to a sheet, a towel, anything. And that it's nice and cozy and warm in there for him. Um, so I have an enclosed shelter. It's huge. And then I have a little tiny one on top that the heating pad just died in that. But I have a heating pad that's in his shelter that he's been in with the straw so he can lay out and be cute. But I now they saw that yesterday morning when I took that yesterday afternoon when I took that video. Um, so I know he's okay because it's cold. It's 7 degrees here. I mean, this is the sucky part of moving, right? I had union plumbers as friends. I had guys who would help me with my electric. Like my other house fell into disarray right after my mom died. I had to rip up floors. I had to redo flooring. I did it all myself. I put two vanities in and changed piping myself. I'm very capable as a human being, but there's certain things that coming here is not the same as New York. The plumbing, the ways things are way different. I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole. Now, the last time I had plumbers here, it cost me almost $2,000 to fix and get rid of black mold. That wiped out my property tax money. Done. Still haven't paid my property tax. Um, so at least I know what's wrong, but that doesn't alleviate the fact that I can't full blast a shower. I'm gonna see if I could do a dishwash. I have a dishwasher. Um, I'm gonna see if that helps because I have a leak. Um, but my pipes did freeze. Like I said to Viking, like, no, it's not the air, it's there's something going on, and it's just my house. So it's coming from outside of the line that's connected to my house, but it's affecting my house. Now, my sage is still burning, so I have something here. Probably not the best. Grounding. Anchor into the earth and always feel at home. Circumstances have affected your energy. I know mine has. You may be feeling disconnected, scattered, or overwhelmed. You may be bumping into things or forgetting if you locked the door or turned the iron off when you left home. Stop whatever you are doing and breathe. Let yourself be here. Call your dispersed energy back to your heart. Imagine any imbalance or excess energy flowing into the earth and feel the calmness of nature in exchange. Nature uses the energy for growth and expansion. This is a symbiotic, co-creative process that we need to remember and honor. When you recenter, you will begin to feel more aligned, relaxed, at peace. This may also be a message to spend more time outside. Yeah, not me, not in this weather. Nature lovingly resets our energy. It holds no judgment, but simply allows and accepts. I know today in the classroom, the kids' energies were bat shit crazy. And I literally, for after lunch, we had indoor recess, the kids stay in the classroom. We did yoga. And I did yoga with them, and I sat in a meditative stance with one of the kids. I said, watch what I do it with me. And we took some breaths together, and it was very balancing. Yeah, lines do, like, I never had a hookup to the washer and dryer. The way that they have in Indiana is not in New York at all. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing around here? I don't know. And then I figured it out. And I also had JQ helping me because JQ knew. I didn't. I was like, what is this nonsense? That's awesome. So, as much as this house is such a burden to me, financially. I need a lot of work done. But I bought the property because of the landscape in the backyard. I have 3 trees on my property. And the tree that's on like my driveway side is shared between me and my neighbor. And then I have 2 trees directly in my backyard. In the middle of that is where the physical Stargate's supposed to be, where I'm supposed to create it and bring it out into manifestation. I go to those 2 trees and I sit and ground on that all day long. In the summer, that's where I'm at, in my backyard. I'm either in my hot tub, which I have to get a new one. That one broke. Very, very, very upset about that. Or fix my pool, which I have to take down. Hopefully sell, get some money. But my trees and the land is very soothing and calming for me. I love spending my days out on my little upper deck with a chair and reading a book. And then my tree's right there, I touch it. And then I see all the negativity going into the tree, being sucked away by the wind into the tree and transmuted. It's beautiful. Have a good night, Miss Amy. It's 7 degrees here. 7. Yeah, I'm coffee, second wind. All right, Roger, this card is for you. Remembrance. Recall your soul truth. You are ready to live your life from the wisdom of your heart. You may have been citing 1111 as a reflection of this. If not, you can expect to be receiving the sign soon. You may see it on a clock, a phone number, a receipt, or in a dream. And it doesn't need to be 1111, by the way. Any number patterns like 211 is my number. With this wisdom, fresh and innovative ideas will flow into your mind as new ways to live your life. No one else has to change their ways, only you. Live from your heart. Be an inspiration and discover a new world. Some call 1111 an awakening code. You must have awoken on some level to receive it, or whatever number is calling you. It is a sign that you are much more than you think you are. 1111 has many different explanations because we are all asking different questions. There is no right or wrong meaning. See, I love these cards for that. But the heart of 1111 is loving, intelligent energy that always encourage you towards your soul, where you will remember the truth of you. So, Roger, you're going to start seeing signs. It doesn't need to be 1111. My number is 211. As a kid, I would always see 1111 on the clock, whether it be AM or PM. Later on in life, still reserve 211. All my friends were drinking Steel Reserve because it was the cheapest 40 you can buy at the time, beside OE. Both were horrible. I was a Budweiser drinker. I couldn't do the Steel Reserve. But all my friends did drink Steel Reserve. And that 211 was everywhere in my life. Then when I stopped drinking, my best friend lived at address 211 said Street, Staten Island, Prince's Bay. Right before I moved, when I was in contract, I found out my lot number to my house was 211. No coincidence. that number was a part of my life. Oh, goodness, Buckshot. Uh, uh, uh. One of my ex-boyfriends from back in the day, he owned Ink Asylum Tattoo way back in the day. That's all he used to drink is OE40s. Aw, thank you, Amy. Roger got me. I got some friends that donated tonight, and I'm very thankful for everybody that does. So 211 in the angelic numbers from this book's perspective, assert conviction. Your faith is needed to make big leaps in life. Angels are sending you messages, and all you need to do is believe them. Make a list of all the angel numbers, signs, and symbols you've been receiving lately, no matter how small. Meditate on the gratitude you feel for the divine force of love. That number has been carrying my whole life, and that is the truth. I need to have more faith. So whatever it is, I got this book at Five Below, by the way. Um, it doesn't need to be 1111. Your guidance, you are the angel, by the way. You all are angels, whether you are an I know I'm from the Archangel Collective. I have an Archangel incarnate, two of them within me. Have an experience. All of you are the same. I'm not lying about this. I will read, Scott. 285. Sorry, my vision is blurry. I need glasses. Dina left without seeing me. I was going to ask her for a pair of readers in exchange for some gingerbread crayons for the boys. All right, Scott. 285. Prioritize. Create direction. Your angels want you to sort out what makes you happy in your life. Such a basic question has become deprioritized in your busy life. Today, spend time thinking about your dreams, what and who makes you happy, and create direction out of your answers. I could take a picture of that and send it to you so you have it. I like this book. I resonate with it. But like like I was saying before, um angels are going to speak to your higher selves, your angelic selves, your other selves, your galactic selves. They're all going to speak to you differently, but they're all going to send you different signs. So 1111 is like the epitome of what most people equate to. But some of us are not seeing 1111. We're not heart aligning with it as much. We're heart aligning with other numbers. That is your signs and symbols. Um, you got to be aware of what is being dropped in front of you. It's not just spirit messages like from beyond, like my parents, my friend Seth that had osteosarcoma and lost his leg, knew I don't like the song My Girlfriend's Girlfriend from Typo Negative, and will play that in my head and I know it's him. Like my mom and dad will come in the form of cardinals. They'll drop me pennies and dimes, feathers, but not all things are that apparent in symbology. Some things are harder to decipher, some things are not as easy or clear to you. And I just say to my higher self, like I have been at night, please give me clarity on my situation. What is it that I need to do in order to propel myself forward? Because whatever is happening, whether it be stalled, divine timing, or whatever have you, it it is not easy to be in in-between all the time. For the next thing to be in in-between. For the next thing. I'm always feeling like I'm in in-between. Don't like it. So I've been trying to work my mind around how to get rid of that cycle. Um, I'm reshaping my brain and retraining my brain to think and stop thinking in lack. And the third dimensional realm is the experience to learn how to overcome that lack. Yes, because so yes. I love typo negative. I didn't get a picture, but back in the day, I got to sit on Pete's bench in Brooklyn. So Roger, what you see moving in the corner of your eye is spirit. That's fourth density astral. It's also fifth density. You're starting, you're giving permission to yourself to start seeing. Most people can't see because they're not giving themselves permission to, because they're still stuck in this 3D matrix. And now that you're expanding your thinking, you're looking at different possibilities. Even if you don't believe in those possibilities, you're expanding and allowing the information to come in, and now it's exposing itself for you to see. Um, my mother, who absolutely shunned me my entire life when it came to the paranormal and what I was seeing, she didn't believe. Only until they started showing themselves to her. And this was near her death state. I'm not saying you're going anywhere, Roger, you're not. Um, but my mother was one of those skeptics that needed to see it and experience it before she could believe it. She started to believe when she saw a shadow, a legitimate darker than night shadow figure walk up the stairs and go to my bedroom, because that's where my portal was. And she screamed her face off, thinking it was me going up this, like coming up from my kitchen. I was in a townhouse. I lived on 3 floors. The bedrooms are on the third floor. She's like, she started screaming. I'm like, she woke me up and I said, "What? I have work in the morning. What the hell?" She goes, "That wasn't you." I'm like, "What are you talking about? That wasn't me. I'm in bed. It's not the cats. They're with me. I'm sleeping. What the hell are you waking me up for?" "I just saw something come up the stairs. It was darker than dark." Well, I thought it was you. What the fuck was that? I'm like, Mom, is spirit? I don't know. Leave me alone. You won't let me sage. Oh no. She's like, go get your sage. I will allow you to do this. I don't like what I saw. It made me uncomfortable. Allison, Allison, Allison. Then that made my mom a believer. You have to give yourself permission to see. You have to raise your frequency. A lot of people are not seeing the ships. Some people are seeing little things in the sky that are somewhat like ships, but they're not. They're us. They're our own. Other people are seeing the motherships. I urge people who are still skeptical to go watch ESETI Stargate with oh, what's his name? Why does his name escape me all the time? He's really nice. I like him. Gilliland. I forgot his first name. It'll come to me. James Gilliland. He does ESETI Stargate. He has a ranch out by ESETI, overlooking the mountains out on the west coast. And he'll point them out to you all the time. He has a ton of videos on it. If you are a skeptic, go watch his channel. Because he gives you the real deal shit. And he also reaches out to Yogananda. I want to believe it's Yogananda. No. He has an ascended master he connects with. Uh watch his channel if you're a skeptic. That's a real deal place to get real information. Um ESETI Stargate. Go watch. He's awesome. I love him. He's Lyran. And he's other things, he knows it. But he's very much like me. He reminds me of myself, but older. So I would go listen to him, watch some of the videos from past. Fantastic shit. Um, so Roger, I would say that your higher self is giving you now permission to physically see. And it's gonna be out of your perceptive eye. It's not gonna. I only had a couple of instances where I could physically see things. When I worked at the YMCA and my pool was down for maintenance and drained, because I was a pool operator, I was able to go in and work with my aquatics director. And one day I came in early because I was doing mural paintings and saw an entity in the back of the pool area in old school, like 1950s dress, construction gear. And I said, who the hell is back there? No answer. I go to the buildings guy that I was friends with and I said, is there anybody working in the back by the filtration system? He goes, no. I'm like, are you sure there was nobody back there today? He goes, no, you're the only one that you and my director were the only ones that go back there anyway. Oh, well, I saw something. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you go back to my earliest shorts, I'm in the cat room and I have little cat balls that light up. And it was nothing touched it. I showed nothing touched it. And yet I asked if it was Ethan, it was, and if he was going to be human, and it went off. Um, let me check because I have my phone. That's easy. He might be on Rumble. hang on. I went to the wrong thingy. SETI Y Stargate. He's on YouTube. It's ECE. Here, let me write it. What? There it goes. Sorry. Um, am I subscribed? Yeah, I'm subscribed. I know he's on Rumble also. He has I think a radio cast he works with, but they have ranch. They use I don't know if it's infrared or he uses stuff and he'll show you with the laser. Like I I I know I have experienced grays, alpha draconians, these non-dualistic beings, so they don't have duality. They're neutral beings that took me through the tunnel to Asgard. I don't know what beings those are. I don't even know what to call them. I don't know if they have names. I don't know if they're inner Earth either. But I have two of those beings I recall. I have seen Grays, physical Grays in my room. I've seen the Draco. I have the picture. That's the only evidence I have of an alien. But I grew up knowing and seeing these things my whole life. Um, behind here, behind here, this was the very first book. I was in seventh grade with this book. And to only show you, that's my homeroom. That's my homeroom. This book is old. My mom let me read this book, but this book, hang on. Okay. This is the book, the very first book. Um, this came out in 94. In fourth grade, this is what I was trying to read. This came a little bit later. But like I read this book in fourth grade. And then later on I got this book. These are the books. I will not throw these out or give them to anybody. This is what started my journey to understanding myself. All the way back then. Seventh grade. Here's the proof. And you can see how gross this book is. It's because it went to school with me. I went to IS 72. alien abduction books. What's the other one? Okay, so we got the aliens down. And also at the same time, when did I read this one? Do I have a school date on this? No. I think I also read this in 4th grade. I think this one I read in maybe 5th or 6th grade. And this was also 7th grade. Conversations with the Other Side. You can see how yellowed my books are. I don't make this shit up. Like, here's my proof. Ah, chicken! Chicken, 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 chicken. Okay, back to cards. I don't make shit up. I already did these. Hello. Freedom. The energy of freedom supports our senses of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. Freedom. Freedom. Honesty. The energy of honesty supports our choice to be courageously truthful and genuine with kindness and tact. Freedom. And it's okay to be skeptical about anything, because if it's not in your reality, it was not meant for you in the moment of time that you're in it. That's usually why people are skeptical. And I don't blame people for needing tangible evidence. But when you let go of needing tangible evidence to see beyond, I don't care if there is a firmament and there is no outer space. These guys can be coming from the lands beyond. These guys can be coming from underneath us. There's also a multiverse with different potentialities and different timelines that they can exist in. Bigfoot is one of them. That's why you can't capture the fucker. Hang on. Nothing came out of me. Hopefully that black seed oil and oregano helps. I have vitamin C. I have all that to take. Two in the same row. Hang on. One more card. I'm also battling dry heat. My school today, ooh, the heat was pumping. You are unique. Be brave, a little crazy, but be yourself. I don't care how people project on me. Don't care. I am me and I'm unapologetic about it. Leave your usual social circles behind. Seek out true companions. This is where I think a lot of us are at the crossroads. As much as I want to be a part of something, my limits are up right now. It might fade, week to week, because my mission is still with JQ. He's not there yet, and I'm gonna wait compassionately. Um, and the same for a lot of other people. My information, when I tell you guys, are being spoken about by other channelers as well. I'm not alone. Um, I say it, and then weeks later, I hear a channeling about it. So I know that I'm being given and channeling information from the higher realms, and it's up to you to align with it. You might not align with me, but you might align with someone else, and that's okay. The idea is to expand. Awaken all your senses, slow down and become aware of them. And Roger, this is where I think you're at. That you're starting to become aware of like things moving in your periphery. And you're not scared of it anymore. You're more curious than scared. I was seeing, I'm still trying to find and dig the pictures up of the spirits that I captured on my camera in my old house. Um, if I didn't take pictures, no one would believe me. Once I had pictures, people started actually respecting me a little bit more because they thought I was skitsy. But I'm not. Sound of mind. You are experiencing a spiritual blossoming. Take a new direction and be open to new experiences. So, to the skeptics out there, to the people who are just awakening and just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just be open. Go explore Brian Scott of the Reality Revolution. Explore Daniel Scranton, Paul Selig. He gives it to you in like a fucking blunt. He's blunt. He is blunt. He's like, this is not me. This is upstairs. This is not me. I was skeptical. I was this. And he's old. Like, he's older. Watch Bashar. I don't align with a lot of, not, I do and I don't with Bashar because it's too fanciful for me to be like in my highest excitement all the time and going, wow, what do I choose? Okay, every moment, what do I choose? That's not how us human brains function. I'm sorry. I'm slow sometimes. I'm slow. My brain needs to process things. It has to process things. I can't just sit there and be in my highest excitement at all times and choose what I prefer. Maybe I don't know what I want to prefer. But watching other people channel like that, there it comes. I got it loose, baby, loose. Sorry, that was gross. Um, when you see other people doing it, I don't do it like that. I don't sit and hold my hands and close my eyes, and I can. I don't choose to. I don't find it viably safe for me right now to do that. I do it more in my sleep. And even at those points, it can get scary. For those that are not used to somebody channeling and they think I'm just making that shit up too. Nope. Prosperity lies ahead. I sure damn hope so for all of our sakes. I hope my truth got out there. I don't need it to go viral, but I just hope that he saw that. A win-win outcome is forecasted. I mean, I always try to think positively. Kind of hard these days. And it's not to say that I don't believe in myself or that I'm not working hard enough. Like this week is what I'm talking about. Like coming home and Odin had a virus and I had no idea how long he was incubating that thing for. Like I need to deep clean my house. I don't know if this is an effect from him that I'm starting to get under the weather or it's from the kids. I work in a school. The kids are gross. Um I don't want Freya to get sick. Um my water pressure made it so that I couldn't clean my house with water and bleach and whatever have you. Like vinegar and all that nonsense. You need to water it down. I can't. The vinegar smells kills me. Um, so these are the inconvenience stuff that I talk about. Like it's one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, with resources that I don't physically have. And it's where does they come from? Like I work my butt off at my job, not making enough. Let's hope the mentoring pays off. But what do you do in the meantime? Like these are the questions like I have for upstairs. Like, okay, you said I had prosperity coming ahead. Well, hi. And I'm not alone in that thinking process either, because there's many of you who live in similar circumstances. Like, when is it going to end? Just need a little bit of a break. I had a card fly out and I will take it. Sorry, my chat is covered. I didn't see anything. What's going on? Hey, I gotta load that short bus every day. I load my kids on the short bus. They have a regular school bus and then there's a short bus. They're really nice inside. Nice and warm. Lady Nada, expanded heart. Openness, liberation, let yourself love and be loved. Kathumi, inventory experience. Your current situation is initiating your gifts. Hold out, Roger. You're gonna have some magical stuff happen. I have a feeling it's incoming. Bridget, inner fire. Let your passion lead you to your purpose. Stop it. Cosmic power. Unlimited potential. Sacred mission initiated. Initiation. I know I'm on my mission. I've been on my mission, but there's more missions it is like I equate this world to the World of Warcraft. I played that game for 14 years. I chose my avatar. I chose the lane in which I was gonna play out certain roles in and level up. And then I get to portal to different places. There's quests, and then there's like the dungeon where you, like Mario, you save Princess Peach. Many of my quests are being fulfilled right now. My mission is one, with the kids, two, getting God's sources, the infinite intelligence's words out. And then three is helping others who are contracted to speak get a better understanding of what is going on and going within to decipher the information for themselves instead of allowing the CNN syndrome of dictation to occur. Oh, I know. I know you're not. Let me tell you what, though. There's nothing wrong. I'm a very big proponent of special ed. Not just because I work in it, because those kids are very, very, very special. They're here to teach us a major lesson in patience and unconditional love and compassion. That is major. Okay, so I understandingly know innately that that serves a very high purpose. Those kids contracted that for whatever the illness, for whatever the delay, for whatever it is that they have, they chose this. Their souls are as old as ours. Okay, they're just kids. They came in a wave. They're having a human experience just like we are. We were kids once too. We all came in waves, and they're the next wave. And we're the way showers for them. And a lot of them don't speak. And a lot of them have a lot of difficulties in this world because they're not used to the density. We're here to give them compassion. You know, I have to remind myself that when I get smacked in the face or bit, but they're only little babies. I upstairs, really? They're fucking with me right now. I was just blessed in an email today to know that I'm going to be a mentor to an up and coming pair that's going to be in my classroom, that I get to train and show her the ropes and explain a lot to her, and hope that as she watches me model good practices and do what's best for the kids, that she's in my path for a reason, and I get to show her how to be compassionate with also like setting the kid in a limit. Like, you are not allowed to bite. You get angry, hug yourself. If you feel like you're gonna twitch out, like, go in the corner and twitch out. I don't care that you're twitching, go in the corner because you're distracting everybody. If you have to cry, go cry in the pillow. We have plenty of things in the room to calm the kids down. It's teaching them how to go and do that. It's showing them, it's hugging them, it's holding them, it's bouncing them, it's providing that care that a lot of people don't do. I know a lot of parents, and especially my friends that have autistic children, that all they want to do is detox and get everything out of them. And sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. And then I go back to Allison, well, why didn't this work? Stop forcing something that is not a part of their plan. You overly detox your kid, you're going to harm them and take the nutrients their body needs because you're giving them cleanses constantly. You can't detox constantly. It's not healthy. You're depleting your system of other things that it needs. Yes, if you need a heavy metal detox, do it for a month for your kid and then stop. And I'm not a medical advisor. I am not in the medical field. So this is entertainment purposes only, an opinion and objective perception. You got to do what's best for your body, but a kid can't tell you who is nonverbal or can only express a little bit. And that also, on the other end, kids that have autism are extremely picky eaters. So if they want some unhealthy food because that's what they like, because the taste, the texture works with them, are you going to deny them food because this is what they want? And because your standards are like, oh, I don't want him poisoned. Well, is he going to eat or are you going to have him on a feeding tube? I'd rather my kid eat the unhealthy thing and transmute the energy when I'm making the food than when the kid's food comes from lunch. I am literally over the bag that I get it in, praying over everything. No one knows what I'm doing. They just think I'm prepping myself to get, the food, put, the bib on and gloves on. I'm blessing the food as it comes. Bless your food. Change the frequency of it. Not if everything was out to kill you, you would be dead already. Overflow. Too much, overwhelm, and plenty. So many good things are headed your way or already occurring in your life right now. Yet you may be thinking that they're not possible or you're not worthy of them. Abundance is everyone's natural state before we project our restrictions on it. Defining what it means, who has it, who gets it, and so forth. Right now, take yourself out of your conditioning and look at your life through the eyes of plenty. There is so much beauty and love. Opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams abound are lined up for you. Pace upstairs. I'm laughing at you too. Yet it's sometimes difficult to discern it all because you're bombarded with too much information and stimulation, distracting you from the truth that all is well. Sometimes all this overflow can be overwhelming, and you may find yourself responding with empathy overload. Empathy overload occurs when you tune in to the collective angst and fear about impending changes or uncertainties. It is unimaginable. You feel like you are drowning in those emotions. It's time to allow yourself to detach, bring yourself back to your life, restore your faith in a power greater than you, and remind yourself to focus on your smaller personal universe, which is much easier to manage. In this way, you know that you are a conduit for life's blessings and can share them with others, making this perception of overflow profoundly positive. Have a good night, Christina. Have fun. I'm almost done. Almost done. I'm going to do these and one more because then I have to upload. See if Viking's awake because I am not chancing a shower just yet. It's cold. Roger, because you're more than you think you are. You read other people's energies. You're an empath. When you hone into what you are, I go research empaths. Hi, Kim. Well, I'm happy you're here, Kim. Trust me, I was a mess all week. Getting back to normal. Nothing's going to be normal, but some semblance. Raziel, the inner workings. There are hidden truths below the surface. Dig deeper. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier about that video that was on We Not Me, that everybody was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. It is. There's a lot of truth in there, but there's also a lot of program and narrative steering in that. As soon as I heard it, I shut it off. Because you have to go within to know what is right in for you. And a lot of people don't go within, they automatically, oh my gosh, this is truth to an extent, but do you know the deeper story? I'm going to see if I can find it on my Facebook page. The Ryan Lyran Wars. It's Ashiana Dean, but mixed with other people, and it's a better complete. It's not an absolute. Nothing in this world is absolute. Truth is in frequency of where we're at. So it's a continuous expansion. We're not going to know the totality of truth until we're merged back with the source of all things. Not even Ra at ninth density or wherever he is, the Arcturians, the council, the founders, the this, the that, the who, the what. They are all working for the same achievement, and they don't all have it right either. That's correct, Gregory. I got to do a laundry too. I pray that works. Sandalfin, building the bridge. Your role is to create a connection between heaven, earth, and all hearts. Sandalfin has been working with me extensively in the last year. He's one of my archangels that works through me. Daniel, divine discernment. Trust in the messages within. They are divinely guided. Remember, where are your thoughts? Where did they come from? Actually, I lied. I'm going to do another deck. And I'm going to do the last one, and then it'll be almost close to 9 o'clock. My time. I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with me. I finished a craft that's going to hang on the wall with all the other cat cremation fun. All my kitties got one, besides my first cat, Taffy. I wish I could go for 4 more hours. I got to take some supplements because I feel it over here. Oh, my favorite room. Radio. Love radio. Radio, where'd you go? I just saw you. Here you are. Journey, travel. Travel is the key theme for this rune. When it appears in a casting, it indicates that an exciting journey is about to begin. This could be a physical journey, but is far more likely to indicate an inner journey. The rune is associated with right path being traveled. So this suggests that you focus should be on enjoying the ride rather than actual destination. Live in the power of now. Being so closely linked to forward momentum, this card could also indicate that if you are currently feeling stuck in your life, your stagnation is due to an unwillingness to look for answers within yourself. Things have got to a point in your life, nonetheless, when it will become more painful to remain where you are than to go on this essential journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Love this rune. Love, 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 love. Yes, don't forget tomorrow on We Not Me's Facebook and Telegram, there is a link for a Zoom. It is private, but it's open to everybody here. I don't know where I'm gonna be. Hopefully I might drop in. Last week I had to Irish exit because Odin was taking a turn for the worst on Saturday. He peed on himself. And now that I look back on it, you know, I had to Irish exit out. So I do apologize. Not my intentions to do that. But if you guys are so wanting to, it's a really nice space to have like minds. Once again, everybody's kind of respectful to each other on it. I know Christina and Buckshot do a good job of moderating if need be. Sometimes people just without thinking, but that's okay. That's a learning, teaching experience. People have to stop taking everything so seriously, and so personally. You know, but if you're interested, it's a beautiful spot to hang out in. I sometimes myself show up. Ooh. So for me, in the last couple of weeks, crows and ravens in symbology have been showing up for me. Um, oh, I'm healing. I have cuts. I don't know if you could see them. Hard to see right there. I have cuts. Kid cuts. And they're finally just now healing. As we're all just healing. Ivory wish-fulfilling crow. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping control, and doubt. Sorry, that is my camera being shitty. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection whenever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. The wish-fulfilling tree is a spiritual symbol for the soul, the heart, and the divine Indian word I am not butchering, or enlightened sages who guide and protect humanity. It represents a high level of consciousness, which is abundant and in harmony with the universe, and therefore blissful, free, and generous. This oracle reminds you that you are aligned with spirit. You are aligning with a powerful field of grace, which has protective and strengthening qualities. It is a spiritual tonic which effect in all dimensions and all realms of existence. The price for such sacred empowerment is the surrender of one's ego. This is a lifelong journey for most of us, rather than a one-time event. We recondition our mind in the ways of spirit again and again. We disentangle our hearts from societal conditioning based in fear, dominance, greed, victimization of getting one's personal desires met at any cost. We recognize there is a profound difference between taking and receiving. We trust in what is destined for us. The message of the ivory wish-fulfilling crow is that one does not have to dominate or manipulate others to obtain success. It is enough to align with spirit and trust that your sacred inner work is sufficient to attract whatever is needed to manifest your higher purpose. You can obtain what you seek by becoming and radiating rather than through contriving and manipulating. You can recognize what is happening and adjust your sails to suit the winds, rather than trying to change the ways of nature. This oracle guides you to trust that you will reach your destination even when there are forces beyond your control. You don't need to be more powerful than oppressive forces to overcome them. In connection with your heart temple of spirit, you will be empowered to proceed on your path with abundance, wisdom, and joy. Spirit's like, I owed you a couple of messages because of what's going on with you this week. Here it is. But I know a bunch of you needed to hear that too. Now, in my closing, there is a lot of information that will be coming out. We all know this. Many of us that don't, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Where is your discernment and where is your focus? Where's your energy lying? What is renting space up in your mind? Since Odin's passing, my focus has been on introspection, asking why questions, and seeing a bigger picture. The pipes, the water, what is the bigger picture? What is my projective? Where do I need to restart? Where do I need to refocus my energy? Because obviously putting applications in for part-time jobs is just not where it's at. Keep getting more rejection letters and emails. Gotta love that. I mean, it's not for me, for whatever the reason is, but I need substantial income, right? Got to figure it out. But I'm hoping with more exposure, people want oracle readings or want some of my artwork, I can sustain for now. And I want to thank everybody who has contributed to me, especially for Odin. That literally made me cry in happy tears, in thankful tears, in gratitude beyond words, that people really stepped up to help me. Even though Odin didn't make it, everybody really thank you. Because your prayers, your thoughts, your words, your hugs, your compassion was very much felt. Um, I'm a fighter, and I did everything I could do within my means to save his life. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for everybody coming together and helping me. Um, yeah, I mean, I know the love is there in other places. It just needs to shine to all, not just to the few. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of people that are in my chat that are not a part of the other channel, and they have other differing opinions and perspectives, believe it or not. But they're still beautiful people, and they are still worth having. That's why I like to be divine neutral. I see all people as beautiful expressions of source. Some of them just have many, many multiple layers of darkness and light, and the light can't come in. And it's my job to help unlayer those darkness layers. Many of you do the same. Seriously, I don't know how I would do and get along if it wasn't for all of you helping me out along the way. So thank you guys so much. Words right here. My love bubble. Um, I do appreciate all of you. I know Odin does too. I know he understands that we are all trying to help him. And it's not it's a limitation. I don't know why that my soul chose to be limited in the financial avenue. That's just the theme I'm playing out, and it's a theme that I have to overcome. I can't live the rest of my life this way. Um, as I'm getting older, things are getting harder. And it was already hard 20 years ago. Being arthritic and not being able to hold up pens. Um, yeah. Um, just take the information that you're receiving and go within with it. I'm not saying it's wrong, right, or indifferent. Some stuff I really adamantly don't align with. Um, and there's other things to explore when something is interesting to you. Absolutely explore it and listen to different varying opinions before you formulate what you align with. That's why I read a whole variety of content. It's not just esoteric. It's not just channeling. It's existential philosophy. It's regular philosophy. It's aesthetic philosophy. It's life and death. It's aliens. It's all types of different things that I read that I then can go from here to there to this to that and make my own formulated opinions and perspectives. I listen to a lot. And what I've been finding out is that I never heard of those channelings before. And then when I hear them, I'm like, holy fuck, I sound just like them. My words are not this or not much different from theirs. It is mind blowing. It's validating. It's beautiful for me. And I know many of you are waking up by expanding and listening to different things and opening up your mind, even if you don't believe it now and you don't might not believe it in 5 weeks, but eventually your soul is going to open up like that lotus. And that video that you saw 2 years ago, 8 years ago, or 2 weeks ago is seated in your mind. And you might have an aha moment, but you wouldn't know that if you didn't give yourself the opportunity to have it in the first place. And that's a big learning lesson that I learned early on in my journey, is that now I objectively listen to information without being attached emotionally to things, but I also have my barriers of how much I'm exposing myself to low vibrations of negativity and hate and disgust for other selves and other people. So I just tune out of that, but I still listen and I still watch and I still support others. I don't know if Buckshot's still here, if he will be on Turn the Page with Janine. Telegram, go find her. See if there's the show tomorrow. Maybe, maybe not, but always go subscribe. I leave of where I am usually in chats. You'll see that in my when the video uploads and you check my links and section. All that stuff will be there. So where my Rumble handle is, where I'm at, and usually I'm at in the beginning and sometimes in the middle and sometimes we at the end. I have to put my energy and focus on me because that's how I thrive and that's how I'm going to survive. I focused on a lot of other people for too long, doing a lot with no regrets. That was my mission. But if I don't focus on myself, I'm going to fall to the wayside, and I can't allow that to happen because it already happened once, and that almost killed me. So that's right. And all religions don't have it right. And some of them have it more so than others, but there's still things there. Like I said, it's projection and perception and it's interpretation. And we all interpret the reality we create differently. So that's why I always say you might not align with what I say, but someone else might say it in a different frequency for me that hits you. That's the most important. That's why I mentioned go look at Paul Selig, Dolores Cannon, Pamela Erlin, Ann Tucker. I don't align with everything she says from the angels, but there's some good stuff there. All of them. Daniel Scranton. We sound super similar. He's tuning and doing a lot of this. Hey, that's how he channels. It's beautiful. It's unique. But what he's saying is very much similar to what I'm saying. The law of one. Investigate. Open up your mind. Give yourself that chance. I like to source my information from all different types of places and things. All the collective things that I've read and the learnings that I've learned over my lifetime will serve me in some capacity. And the same for all of you. You are all one with me. You're not, I am no special person on a podium. You're all as equal to me. You just have to do more digging. Go within to know your signs and symbols and what is coming out to you. Listen to yourself. Sometimes yourself isn't going to give you the answers. You have to find it. I know right now they're working me hard to figure it out. And it's very frustrating. This is not the easy road. I didn't get hand the golden Wonka ticket. I didn't get to go to the freaking Wonka chocolate factory and have a fucking heyday and explore and have fun. I didn't get that golden damn ticket. I have to work through and eat all that damn chocolate to find that damn ticket. It's annoying. That's what we're on the process at. So take all of that accumulative information that is stuck in your brain. Know that you wrote it already. What is coming out in the outside world, all this discourse, all the back and forth, it's just noise. Know thyself, go within, align. Don't get distracted. So a lot of it's distraction. Feel it here. Know yourself. Believe in yourself. It doesn't matter who your past lives are and what your concurrent lives are and what the future lives are. It doesn't matter. You're here consciously now, and that's all that matters. It's fun to unravel all those things. It's a journey. It's a long one for many of us. So go take that journey. Go within. Tap into your heart. See the signs and symbols from the universe and ask for clarity when you're not seeing them. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within. Be the physical shoulder for somebody. Be the lighthouse. Seed your truths. Much thanks to all the channel members and people who have kept me alive for the last 3 years and for the last few months. Thank you. I couldn't do this without you guys. I'd be out on my ass homeless. So I really do appreciate all of your help, the behind the scenes help. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And I hope that I'm providing enough energy exchange to equate something for you, whether that be in healing, whether that be in an epiphany, a mind explosion, or whatever have you, or just giving you different things to read and different things to explore. That's why I'm here. Hi, Thomas. Glad you came. So, guys, thank you. And I know Odin's soul appreciates all the help that you guys sent. Thankfully, I have those little connection points once in a while to know that. Yes, everybody stay strong. Thank you, Gregory. Be the light the way, light the path. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you for all your support, your love.